Gentlemen, program will continue shortly uninterrupted, and allow me to, in a special way, invite the chairman of the institute to give his remarks and welcome the governor. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Hilary. Your Excellency, the Governor of Mombasa County, Honorable Abdul Swamad Nasir, the Controller of Budget, CPA Stephen Masha, the CEO of CRA, that's Commission on Revenue Allocation, CPA James Katule, CPA Maurice Ore, who is representing the Commissioner General of KRA, FCPA Robert Warilu, Convener Public Finance and Tax Committee, FCPAs, CPAs, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Good morning once again. I can see all of you have got bright faces, meaning that you heeded to my request that you go to the beach and swim. And we have no incidents so far. I think you are good swimmers, and you are a way of cooling off, isn't it? Your Excellency, it gives me a great pleasure to welcome you together with the delegates to our second day of the 10th Tax Convention 2022. We had very engaging sessions yesterday, Your Excellency, and the discussions, and I must say that the delegates were very engaged, and it was an amazing audience. I want to look forward to your continued engagement today, and we are privileged to have His Excellency the Governor of Mombasa County. But before I give my detailed speech, allow me, Your Excellency, to recognize and appreciate the support that you have given ISPAC. For those of you who don't know, I used to be the chairman of ISPAC Coast Branch many years ago. And for those of you who can rewind and remember the Companies Act 2015, and I will draw your attention to the Hansard in Parliament. The only member of Parliament who stood up and protected and defended the position that was taken by ISPAC on those Companies Act sections, I think 638, the lawyers in the house, you can know, but I remember them. I'm not a lawyer because I was very passionate that that was the right thing for us. If I can remind you, those requirements that exempt companies from audit, the three of them, that 50 million and below turnover, 20 million asset base, and 10 or 5 employees and below, that they are exempt from audit. The only member of Parliament who stood strongly and defended us is none other than His Excellency Honorable Abdul Swamad Nasir. Your Excellency, I have the clip when you are making the presentations in Parliament, and I remember very well, was it Honorable Jepkonga who asked, what is the position of ISPAC? And then you called us from Parliament, seeking our explanation on some of the issues and challenges you are getting on the floor of the House. I really want to take this opportunity on behalf of the Council to once again appreciate and thank you for standing with us and coming with us today. We cannot thank you more, but we look forward to working with you once again and see how we can make not just Mombasa County great, but the whole country. So appreciate our sincere appreciation. Let's give him a big hand once again for that support that he gave us. So I know some question was raised yesterday on the same, but I've given you the historical perspective on how far we have come. Of course, we were aligning the same with the KRA of VAT registration threshold and so on, but unfortunately, it was not our day. But we live to fight another day. Isn't it? So, Your Excellency, thank you so much, and we really appreciate. Ladies and gentlemen, yesterday we prayed for Honorable Kuria Kimani to be elected the chairman of the Public Finance and Planning Committee, Honorable CPA Kuria Kimani, to be elected the chairman of the Finance and Planning Committee of the National Assembly. And I'm elected to give you breaking news that indeed he was elected, not just elected, but elected unopposed. We now have a friend, and with your permission during the AGM, if you allow me, I can give an honorary FCPA to Honorable Nasil for his contribution to supporting the cause of the Institute, isn't it? If you give me permission during the annual general meeting, Your Excellency. So together with the Honorable Kimani, we want, of course, to congratulate him and look forward to continuing constructive and positive engagement between the Institute and the Committee of Finance and Planning. And I think the members of PFT, I think that's a great achievement. And now you'll not be calling me, asking me, Chairman, how do we lobby for this position? So we have got one of our own in that very powerful committee. And today, ladies and gentlemen, we are reflecting yet on another exciting topic, which is of importance. That's taxation at the county level, improving the environment for enhanced business, enhancing county public financial management, considerations for the new government, and focus on MSMEs growth and tax. Your Excellency, Article 293 of the Constitution mandates county governments to impose property rates, entertainment taxes, and any other tax that's authorized by an act of Parliament. The Constitution further stipulates that the taxation and other revenue-raising powers of a county shall not be exercised in a way that prejudices national economic policies, economic activities across county boundaries, or the national mobility of goods, services, capital, or labor. For the past close 10 years of revolution, generation of enough own-source revenue has been one of the major challenges facing county governments. County budget implementation review reports by the Control of Budget, and I'm happy that CPA Stephen Marsha is here, that since the financial year 2013-2014, they have consistently shown underperformance in actual revenue collection and below the target figures. For instance, Your Excellency, Mombasa County had approved supplementary budget for the financial year 2021-2022 at Kenya shillings 14 billion, comprising of 4.43 billion, that's 30%, 30.4%, and 10.7% billion, that is 69.6% allocation for development and recurrent programs, respectively. To finance the budget, the county was expected to receive Kenya shillings 7.57 billion, that's 5.8%, as the equitable share of revenue raised nationally, and also generate 4.96 billion, that's 34% from its own source revenue. However, it only managed to collect 2.88 billion against an annual projection of 4.96 billion, representing 58.1% of the annual target. According to the Commission on Revenue Allocation, and I'm happy the CEO is here also, low revenue collection is caused by ineffective revenue monitoring and control systems, including lack of updated revenue databases, inadequate automation, lack of enumeration and classification of revenue source, low capacity support in revenue function, and inadequate political goodwill from both arms of government, among other limitations. Your Excellency, ISPAC, in this analysis and engagement with several counties, has established that 90% of counties had automated aspects of their revenue collection using various contractors and revenue providers at a cost ranging from 20 million to Kenya shilling 70 million for an automated revenue management system. There is still lack of a standard or system across the country to validate, consolidate, and analyze revenue collected from the different revenue streams. Equally, several counties are operating numerous systems in revenue collection which are not integrated. Many county governments, indeed, adopted different systems that are controlled by private entities and service providers. Private data collected is not protected, especially in transitional arrangements. The other challenge, Your Excellency, counties faced was difficulty in reconciling manual and integrated revenue collection reports due to differences in the systems put in place by county directorates. This, Your Excellency, will lead to economic and effective revenue collection. Sorry, let me just go back to that paragraph, sorry. The other revenue challenge faced was difficult in reconciling manual and integrated revenue collection reports due to the different systems put in place. We recommend that county revenue directorates should integrate their work and all mandate and operations with Kenya Revenue Authority, as this will lead to efficient, economic, and effective revenue collection and administration. Your Excellency, the Control of Budget has also continuously made a number of observations across board, including late submission of financial reports by the county treasury to the Control of Budget, including underperformance of own-source revenue and a high level of pending bills. For instance, Mombasa County, as at 31st March of 2022, had 3.16 billion as outstanding pending bills. Further, Your Excellency, a look at the Auditor General reports point to continued challenges across the counties. From their inception, ladies and gentlemen, and this is our report card as accountants, since the advent of devolution, only two county governments and two county assemblies have so far received an unqualified audit opinion. Only two. Unfortunately, Your Excellency, Mombasa County is not among the two, but we hope that we are going to, I'm a resident of Mombasa County, and therefore I take ownership of that, but we're working very hard to see that we improve and be not just among the two, but among other several counties. For example, if I can say that the qualification paragraphs, Your Excellency, for the 2019-2020 financial report, the qualification paragraphs included, that's for Mombasa County, that there were inaccuracies in the financial statements, inaccuracies in cash and cash equivalents, and statement of receipts and payments. It was reflecting balances which was differing significantly with the IFMI system. This is cutting across all the counties. Of course, there was also the issue of unconfirmed county-owned generated receipts, and this is affecting the issues around own-source revenue, among others, of course, and unsupported and undisclosed spending bills, which is a problem that we have not just for Mombasa County, but across all the counties. Your Excellency, just was to give you an overview of the qualification paragraphs, and us as ISPAC, if there is anything we can do, we are ready to meet you anytime, whenever your schedule allows, so that we can discuss and see how we can partner together so that we move from these unqualified audit reports to unqualified audit opinions. There is obviously a correlation between effective efficient and economical use of funds when the audit reports, there is what we call a positive correlation between the nature and context of the audit report issued by the Auditor General and effective, efficient, and economical use of public funds. That's, of course, value for money. And therefore, Your Excellency, this is just a teaser to ignite discussions on the state of finances and taxation at the county government. We have the control of budget here, CPS Stephen Masha, and also the CEO of Commission on Revenue Allocation is also here to present and shed more light on the situation as it is on the ground. We are desirous that the devolved system will continue to grow to the aspirations of the framers of the Constitution, and most importantly, to enhance service delivery to Kenyans. With this, ladies and gentlemen, allow me now to most humbly invite His Excellency Honorable Abdul Swamad Sharif Nasir, the Governor of County 001, on the behalf of the people of Mombasa and that of the Council of Governors, to address us as his people. Your Excellency, before you come, ISPAC continues to support this county. 70% of all our CPD events are held here in Mombasa County. And therefore, we're really supporting the economy of this county. Even this hotel, I saw the manager somewhere, he knows that we support, and of course, not just this one, but all the other hospitality establishments, including even the border borders and the tuk-tuks and the taxi drivers. You can see them coming in whenever ISPAC has an event. That's our contribution to the economy of this county. With those few remarks, let's put our hands together and welcome His Excellency.
Good morning. Habari zenu. Mwenyekiti, I think has either not had breakfast, because I was wondering whether the microphone ndio haifanyi, lakini sauti yake ndio ndogo sana. Kwa hivyo mumpatie nafasi akitoka hapa kidogo apate kikombe cha chai. How are you guys doing? I don't have a written speech, but I want to speak from past experiences and current situations and what we feel the future will be able to hold. I've been a member of parliament for 2 terms. And during those 2 terms, the first term, I was actually a member of the Finance Committee, a committee which ISPAC holds very, very dearly for obvious reasons. I was a member of the Finance Committee during my first term as a member of Parliament, so I was meeting ISPAC quite a lot of times. During my second term of Parliament, parliamentarians elevated me, and they chose me to become the chair of the Public Investments Committee. So again, I was meeting ISPAC a lot, but this time round, I was meeting ISPAC because they had to come and explain the way Vice was saying that audited accounts. So on this side, I was getting the team explaining to me why they are having very irregular audited reports. But I'm sure I did my job well. I believe that we were able to conduct ourselves in a very, very orderly way. During my life in Parliament, I recall handling the issue of the company laws. And you're right, what actually happened is whoever at that time, whoever decided, they actually, because it is a very, very large document. If I'm not mistaken, it was about 600 pages. The company laws was about almost 600 pages, if I'm not mistaken. And I think someone just simply picked up something from another country. It was UK laws. They made a mistake even when picking it, that some paraphrases, instead of the currency being in Kenya shillings, it was in sterling pounds. is where you would then realize the mistake that they'd actually done. So even that fact of what should not be audited, it was, I strongly believe they just couldn't own up to it, but it was because in those jurisdictions, it was meant to be 30 million pounds. So here we came up and we, but that is, I think, one of those success stories that we hope future generations will be able to be told that parliamentarians can be used for a good cause as well. And now today, I inherited, the people of Mombasa elevated me even further. And they voted me in as the governor of Mombasa. And when I came in, we had a statutory timeline where we have to now do our own finance bill. So I said, I think the world is in a circle. I started my life in leadership being someone who goes through other people's finance bills. Then I went into my second circle to oversee how those finance bills were being oversighted. Now, where I am, the first call of duty, I had to prepare my own finance bill, which I've just finished preparing. And I think whatever it is that has happened in my previous lives nurtured me in a manner that I believe strongly in public participation, and I believe strongly in informing everyone. And now we have just finalized our own finance bill. An aspect of importance in our finance bill is we're concentrating on enriching the lives of the SMEs and the MMEs, reducing and consolidating single business permits for especially the MMEs and the SMEs, zoning out Mombasa, realizing that not everyone can necessarily be able to pay similar, and they're not doing the same turnaround and turnovers in businesses. So for someone who is in Mwakirunge, will have to pay differently from someone who is in the CBD and they're conducting the same businesses. It doesn't make economic sense to try and punish someone just because of where they're located, and equally to become something that we're going to now nurture and also encourage other people to be able to develop. The building permits as well, we realize where population is extremely high already, where there's a strain on current infrastructure, where we feel Mombasa needs to be able to be developed even further. So we have zoned out Mombasa in those. And I think in everything that we do, we'll be involving ISPAC. We're already involving ISPAC. The task forces that we currently have put into place has membership of ISPAC. The boards that we have in place. I had a meeting yesterday with the SRC, and I've provided to them, because unlike everyone else, I have decided to take a look at what it is that I have been able to amass in terms of experience over the years. And I'm saying I want to now look at things differently. So we're now looking at changing the whole structure of government. And I'm doing things in a positive, radical manner. That I want to now change that level of thinking of, does it really mean that a certain department has to fall under a certain ministry? Does it mean that we need to have this and this here? So in the process of asking all those questions, we have just sent our final proposed structure of government to the SRC for them to also give me an input. And very soon, we'll be announcing positions of chief officers and CECs. I've also gone against the norm. I'm of the strong belief that there are people out there who I don't know, who are smart enough to be able to assist me in running Mombasa. So, despite the fact that the constitution, the laws of this country allow me to handpick CECs, I'm going to subject them, these CECs, to two things. One, are they interested? Two, can they be able to perform? So we'll be advertising for these positions as well. And amongst the people who are going to be in that team to vet those CECs to tell me that we feel that these are the people you need to be able to work with will be ISPAC membership as well. So I hope that you will be doing a tremendous job as you have done previously in all the others. So mine is just to say a big thank you to each and every one of you. It has been a beautiful journey. I'm hoping that 5 years from today, whoever is going to be on this podium will actually come up and say that amongst those who had the best audited reports, we can comfortably say that Mombasa was one of them. Because I want and I intend to use my experience as a member of the finance, chair of the Public Investment Committee, and to be able to put it into good use into this as well. So with those many remarks, I want to, before I declare it open, I want to make one disclaimer. We have one simple policy in Mombasa, and we hope that that policy will be abided to. And the CEO of the Commission for Revenue Allocation is here. He will attest to me, to that those words are true. We have a simple, very, very simple. We don't even demand for much. Kindly make sure that all the money that you carried with from whichever part of the country you are, please spend it here. Do not go back with anything. Kama kutakuwa na shida ya fare, please let us know. We are more than willing to assist in ensuring that, tutawakopa pesa za transport kuregea. Lakini ile mulibeba, hakikisheni mumalize hapa. Tunataka uchumi yetu iendelee mbele na mbele na mbele. With those many words, I want to congratulate you and declare this forum open. Asanteni sana na mubarikiwe.